Hey, this is Bitcoin Asset Research with Allard. Today I'm going to talk about altcoin season. This really comes from a question from an earlier video I did. Here we have Albert Lee asking me if I could share my take on some of the other major coins. And so this video will be my take on altcoin season. So first off, definitions. Within a 4-year cycle, and these 4-year cycles in crypto are determined ultimately by Bitcoin's halving event, which happens every 4 years or every 210,000 Bitcoin blocks. So there's a point within this 4-year cycle where altcoins start to outperform Bitcoin. And this is what is called altcoin season. And in many ways, altcoin season is already starting. We can see that when we look at the top 10 coins on something like CoinGecko and see that their prices relative to Bitcoin is starting to bottom out. Here we have ETH, and just to orient yourself, the brown line over here represents the price of the coin when measured in Bitcoin terms. So here we have the ETH Bitcoin chart starting to bottom out. That brown line is starting to head up. XRP has a clear uptrend. Solana is also starting to trend upwards. BNB looks much like the ETH chart. Dogecoin and Cardano both look a lot like the XRP chart. Tron also looks like that. And we have Avalanche also looks kind of like that. So altcoins are broadly starting to increase relative to Bitcoin. And of course, we have other altcoins like these meme coins, which have already started to cause some level of market volatility. I think we are starting to enter that euphoria phase of the cycle. An altcoin season can typically last over a year. Last cycle, it really started in DeFi summer in 2020. You might remember that the Fed increased M0 by 50% due to COVID. And they also dropped rates to 0%. And this led to rampant speculation in all kinds of assets over the next year. This was just, as I was making this slide, this was just some of the random stuff that I remembered from that time. There was hydrogen fuel cell stocks, you had SPACs, electric vehicle stocks, and of course you had altcoins. Usually the peak of altcoin season is followed by a brutal bear market in all crypto assets. And that's where the unsound economic systems blow up, and leverage causes a contagion effect that impacts the entire crypto sector. And last cycle, it really began in 2022. We had the Terra Luna blow up. This was when the UST algorithmic stablecoin depegged from the dollar, and the Luna token, which served as the collateral asset in this unsound system, also collapsed. And this happened in May of 2022. At the time, Bitcoin was about $35,000, and many centralized finance platforms in crypto blew up as a result of the Luna fallout. The final nail in the coffin in this entire process was the collapse of FTX, which happened in November of 2022. And Bitcoin really bottomed in December of 2022 at around 16,000. So that's definitely something very interesting in the markets when we have this final nail in the coffin and when we have this irreversibly bad sentiment, so to speak. That's when the risk assets will start to bottom, and that's when it is a prime good time to buy. If you're learning something so far, I just ask you to like, subscribe, share this video with a friend, ask a question, leave a comment in the comment section. These all help expand the reach of this video. So with the rise in prominent altcoins like XRP, Solana, Avalanche, which altcoins make the most sense as investments? This is the question I'm basically trying to answer here. Let's take a very big step back and think about value first. Altcoins are not a new monetary network the way Bitcoin is. I think we have to take a step back and look at it from this perspective first and foremost. Bitcoin alone is the new value paradigm. And I say value because money is, of course, the thing that is used to measure value. You don't, or at least you shouldn't, measure the value of Bitcoin in terms of dollars. This is like measuring the length of meters or the weight of kilograms, because Bitcoin should be the thing that is used to measure value and not the thing that you're measuring the value of. And if you believe that assumption, then really the conclusion is that Bitcoin is repricing everything that exists. And when you look at this chart over time, that chart starts to head down. Like stocks priced in Bitcoin, real estate priced in Bitcoin, oil, gold, commodities is getting cheaper when measured in Bitcoin terms. So what about altcoins, right? Where do they fit within this paradigm? Altcoins should have value based on their future cash flows. This is the core of my argument. Blockchain may be a new paradigm for doing business, just as Bitcoin may be a new paradigm for monetary networks. And transparency, trustlessness, censorship resistance, these are all qualities that blockchain offers. And these are all good things which could be conducive to free markets. And altcoins will have value to the extent that they are needed to support these things, and they exhibit robust value accrual from supporting these things. So here would be an example. Maybe I have an altcoin X and it is needed as gas on this network X, and all of the gas that the network consumes is burned, which means that effectively the utility of network X directly translates to a buy and burn or some kind of return of capital to holders of altcoin X. This would be what value accrual looks like. So the main question to ask yourself is, which altcoin supports business use cases while exhibiting value accrual? That would be the long-term view. If you wanted to take a long-term view in this investment asset class, that would be the core question you would ask. And so before I talk about the short-term view, which would be a little different from this view, here would be my answer to that question, to the long-term view question. I don't really know, but I do have what I think is a helpful framework. What I see right now is that most altcoins have two purposes only. The first is to be traded for the sake of farming some yield, and the second is to be held or hodled. And this really takes the form of staking or locking it up or LPing. LP stands for liquidity provision within liquidity pools. And really, this is also another form of trading. It is just more automated and based on an algorithm within a smart contract. So all of this is used for obtaining some kind of yield. And where the yield comes from is almost always from other altcoins that are being traded or held. So this whole process really depends on some circular logic. The whole system, as of December 2024, when I'm making this video, is entirely speculation. And there's really nothing wrong with that. I just want to emphasize this. There is nothing wrong with speculation, but recognizing it as speculation is very important for objectiveness. So what is my framework for looking at altcoins? Well, it's quasi-equity in the most advanced online casino network ever created. Bitcoin is borderless, unstoppable money. If you believe this, then you should also believe that altcoins are borderless, unstoppable gambling. If you believe Bitcoin is 10x gold because it is much better money, then altcoins are perhaps 10x the market cap of all physical casinos because it is just a better version of a casino. If you believe Bitcoin is the digital transformation of capital, then altcoins are the digital transformation of casinos. And this is largely my framework for doing this. Like, which altcoins are these things and which altcoins can support these functions better? I don't try to buy into like the vaporware that Web3 VCs will try to sell you, like this is how the future of the internet will be. I think, that is very far off. But if we think about these things as casinos and then value it on their ability as a casino to generate free cash flows, then we have a good way of evaluating these businesses. And to be clear, when I actually use that framework and look across the market, though I haven't spent a lot of time doing this, I don't really see anything that really grabs my attention, right? I'm just not too interested in investing in casinos. Now, here's my short-term view, which I think might be the kind of time frame that question was more focused on. What has the most potential to pump in the next 18 months? If you are adopting a short-term view of like, how can I swing trade these things, that would be how you should think through this problem. And the other way to say that is what has the most meme potential. It is all memes, it is all narratives. Narratives is everything here. And this is largely what I see in terms of narratives. So there's definitely AI plus crypto, and the core candidate here would be Bittensor. Bittensor is kind of interesting because it doesn't have a pre-mine. It is actually a fair launch that uses something resembling proof of work. We have these blockchain subnets that are supposed to be powered by these decentralized network of AI agents, and then these AI agents solve problems or make inferences and are rewarded in the TAO token. So I do think that there could be some potential for something like this. Certainly AI has been a huge narrative, and if it really takes off in crypto for this altcoin season, then Bittensor could be a core beneficiary. Then we have the memecoin platform, and this is definitely Solana. By memecoin platform, you could really just think about it as a pick and shovels play. So people want to gamble on meme coins. What platform is most conducive to gambling on meme coins? Well, stuff like Pump.Fun and Radium, they're all built on Solana, and Solana is very conducive to meme coins. And if you actually look at some of the charts for the early meme coin launches, they're all priced in SOL. So in that case, like Solana could be a very reasonable pick for this meme coin pick and shovels play. Then there's the ETH killer narrative. So this would be, is there going to be a smart contract platform that supplants Ethereum as the #1 smart contract platform in crypto? And again, Solana could be the winner in this category. So really, narrative is everything here, and I'm just going through these narratives and seeing what makes the most sense. Bitcoin DeFi, I think, could be another strong narrative, but I don't really see any immediately investable assets to express this view besides just buying Bitcoin itself. This is also a very broad topic, so I think I should probably do a separate video covering Bitcoin DeFi in more depth. And of course, there's standalone meme coins. And honestly, I don't know about standalone meme coins. Like, I don't have any specific picks. So I would just say, just don't go for the short-term memes, or you will look like the victims of the Hawktua meme. So my compulsory final answer, and compulsory being like if you forced me to say something that was logical based off of what I have observed, my final answer would just be TAO, which is Bittensor, and SOL. And these are the current prices that they are trading at, about $700 for TAO and about 700,000 sats for TAO. And I include, of course, the Bitcoin units here because if you have an investment, you want to be outperforming in Bitcoin terms. And for Solana, it's currently trading at 237 per token with a sats price of 236,000 sats. And just a quick disclaimer, I don't own any of these assets. My investing focus remains on Bitcoin and Bitcoin assets. I really think that businesses that are growing Bitcoin per share is a very compelling opportunity this cycle. I simply don't see the need for me to engage in other tokens besides Bitcoin. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to this channel. If you want me to talk more about altcoins, do let me know in the comment section below and let me know any questions you might have had. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.